it's Dr. S, and welcome to the first in a running series of Star Trek reviews I will be constructing over a span of time that I'm not really sure of yet. Since I'm mainly a fan of both the original and the Next Generation, those are the episodes that I will be reviewing mostly. I am going to assume that you at least know the main crew some of the main crew from the Next Generation and the original, such as Kirk, Riker, Spock, and Picard, because I think it would take too long to biography the whole two casts. So anyway, let's bring on the review and go where no man has gone before. Begins with Riker saying a monologue. Honestly, what are all the crewmen doing? Writing a book? Who knows? Maybe he's just a host on Twitter. He explains that the Enterprise is going to a planet called Pacifica. You know, the one next to Atlantis. That scene is followed by what is probably a horrible joke that Geordi is mentioning to Data. Just watch his reaction. It's hilarious.
Smile. Straight in the eye and says, just try that. If I could say. So difficulty in attaining such complex positioning in zero-gravity environment, coupled with the adverse effects of the balance psychological well-being of the average human male, is what makes this anecdote so amusing. Yes. Very goodness indeed. It's terrifying.
Friggin' priceless. The plot really sets in when Riker sends a distress note to Picard in his giant-ass flat screen in his bedroom for his eyes only. Turns out that Captain Keel wants Picard to meet him on another planet. Captain Keel is one of his old friends, apparently. I don't know, I've never seen him before. He also tells him not to take anything for granted, like he's his mother or something. But he does seem pretty serious, so this looks like some tough shit. The Enterprise warps to the planet Keel is on and sees Keel's ship, the USS Horatio, orbiting it. As Picard lands on the planet, Captain Keel and two other Starfleet officers tell Picard that they suspect a growing conspiracy in the upper ranks of Starfleet. That's why they draw their phasers, thinking that Picard could be part of the conspiracy. Except I think Keel had a difficult time thinking things through. He tells Picard that this meeting never took place as far as Starfleet is concerned, but then follows by saying, "Tell Beverly Crusher hello from me." How is Picard supposed to tell Crusher that he saw Keel if the meeting never happened and he isn't supposed to trust anyone? They later see the USS Horatio devastated, like totally destroyed, no survivors, which is kind of funny considering they were so close to the ship that you'd think they'd see it on their sensors. Proof of this is giant Tetris blocks floating at the starship Enterprise.
There's insufficient data to make such assessments. Are you suggesting that we walk over to Starfleet headquarters and demand to know what's going on? Why not? Yes, why not? We're talking about a threat to the entire future of the Federation. I don't think any of us are less easy. Interpretate at the source.
Basically what that means is they're going to be heading back to Earth to check out what's wrong with Starfleet. Picard plans to get down to Earth as as Admiral Quinn from the Federation beams up to the Enterprise. Picard gets Riker to show Quinn around the ship, obviously keep an eye on him, while he's down on Earth investigating. This is followed by one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in Star Trek, the first season. Riker is in Quinn's room, and randomly the 65-year-old Admiral starts beating the shit out of Riker, one of Enterprise's best fighters. It's hilarious, just watch. Riker's like, what the hell? And then Admiral Quinn does this, like, kick over his head thing. And Riker's like, what? Not even Riker's slow motion punch can do anything, as he slaps him in the face, causing him to fly over a chair. He calls an emergency security team, and that followed by two physically impossible jump kicks to the face, but they don't seem to do anything either. And not even the security team shows up before Quinn knocks Riker unconscious. Guess who comes to help Riker? None other than Geordi and Worf. I guess neither of whom bring a phaser. Why is Geordi called on emergency flight missions? Isn't he supposed to be the flying a ship? And apparently emergency security teams consist of an unarmed Klingon and a blind navigator. Makes total sense, right? And, Geordi seems, see that? Quinn doesn't like Geordi, so he goes into a cardboard wall. Geordi had already called Dr. Crusher to come help once he seen Riker on the ground, but now he's unconscious because of that dreaded cardboard strength of Quinn. Now he wants to take on Worf, which we'll see in about a second here, but with the commercial, and there you go. I love this. Did you notice that almost, the two-handed smack to the face, but then he barely taps Worf on the ground when he falls. I love how almost everybody in the series at one time beats the shit out of Worf. It's kind of amusing. And he throws Worf over a table, but instead of Riker, he's down for the count. But in comes a phaser blast from Beverly Crusher, who doesn't even know what's going on at the time. She shoots Quinn like 3 times, which doesn't make sense because I know Quinn's really strong, but phasers burn. They don't, like, on kill at least. So why would they send in a doctor? Why would the doctor bring a phaser but not the emergency security team? That makes no sense. I really need to replay a scene, but I just think it's really funny to note that Admiral Quinn right here throws Worf over the table using one hand. Somebody took some noise.
Let my stand on a soft notch. Really cool. How can I think of that? We him like a rag doll.
Look how skinny Geordi is. I bet many people could pick him up like a rag doll. Crusher also and Worf also noticed that there's this little worm thing on the back of Quinn's neck. Back on the Enterprise, you can see that on this scene right here, Riker grabbed Beverly Crusher's neck. He's evil. Back on Earth, the Admirals try to feed Picard miniature worms. When did this movie become the Temple of Doom? I'm surprised nobody has whipped out the chilled monkey brains yet. Riker then comes in and explains that he's evil too, which is kind of weird. I guess being punched in the face by somebody who has the worm becomes the worm. The thing of his neck. But then, like 5 seconds later, you find out that Riker was faking it and starts shooting everybody, which begs the question, why he grabbed Beverly Crusher on the neck on the ship. Riker also gets attacked by the worst broken neck pinch I've ever seen, because he's technically pinching his shoulder right there, which is kind of weird. And then look at this scene. You're just gonna die at this one. Admiral Quinn goes to shoot Picard, but then, we'll watch it in slow motion, just watch. Picard dodges the phaser blast. What is that thing going at the speed of a tennis ball? That's brutal. They should be firing like guns. What is he, the Matrix? Like in Neo or something? And you see the guy running the whole thing in this giant spinning chair without bodyguards, and his neck swells like a frog. So Riker and Picard just say, screw the thing, screw it, and they melt his face like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Ouch. That's gonna leave a mark in the corner. They also killed a reject Muppet alien living in his stomach, which is kind of gross, but they blow it up too, so come on, done. So I just looked at that thing. I'm glad that Kirby did this. Back on the ship, Data believes that the guy in the chair said it only leaked into his planet. So will they return? I don't know. But I'd say watch this episode because it's a fun one. The fight scenes are amazingly cheesy as always, but this episode still dropped. Another funny thing I should add is that Picard tells Data to review all the Starfleet decisions in the past 6 months, but I'm pretty sure that the camera angle rapidly flashing across the screen shows the graphics of a parrot. But what does a parrot have in command decisions? Now, I haven't actually seen this, but I just read it online, so don't, like, whatever. I think that also happens in the Naked Now episode, but that's for another time. I give this episode a 4 out of 5 Trekkie rating because of its cheesiness. I loved it. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.